From a bar that was shut down because the owner was full of excuses,
that there's bugs all over your bar.
There's bugs all over Austin. There's bugs all over America.
to another bar closing because the owner and the staff were disrespectful.
I think Johnny Teffert's really stupid.
Here are bars that had the most deserved downfalls in bar rescue history, starting with Headhunters. Headhunters was a weirdly themed failing bar opened in 2003 in Austin, Texas, and featured in Bar Rescue Season 3. From the outside, it sat in a busy strip surrounded by other bars pulling crowds, yet somehow, this one stayed empty. When John and his recon team went inside, the reasons for this bar's downfall became obvious. The place had no clear identity. It was supposed to be a live music venue, but what customers got instead was a bizarre mix of loud performances, fetish-style entertainment, and an overall atmosphere that just felt off. And then there was the terrible smell, which was impossible to overlook.
What is the smell? It smells like cat piss in here.
It's cat piss. The owner loves the cat in here at night. Sometimes we kill the rat.
But that wasn't even the worst part. Nicole, John's wife, who was with John on this recon, ordered a drink, and you wouldn't believe what was found inside.
There's a cockroach in there. That's unacceptable.
She was gonna serve that to me.
Look at it, floating in there.
Interestingly, the roaches were more consistent than even the bar's customers.
How often do you see a roach?
Every day.
A few every day?
Probably.
Where do you see them? Do they walk across the bar?
Yep. Yeah.
John immediately took all these observations to the bar's owner, Steve Ritchie, who was an engineer before purchasing the bar. But Steve's reaction to John's complaints was incredibly irresponsible.
There are no bugs in the bottle.
Do you know this is happening or not? Yes or no? Do you know it?
Do I know what?
That there's bugs all over your bar.
There's bugs all over Austin. There's bugs all over America.
Steve's reaction was to laugh, make jokes, and blame his staff. Anything except acknowledging the cockroaches crawling through his liquor bottles. Steve even threw shade at John.
Are you gonna lower your voice and talk like a man?
No, because you're frustrating the hell out of me.
You live
I'm
amongst
shocked.
a mess of
I'm shocked.
cockroaches.
Shocked at your professionalism.
You know what
Crazy,
a
man.
Professional is?
Yeah.
A professional is you don't serve bugs to your customers.
Maybe you're the biggest bug.
John, of course, wasn't buying into Steve's antics. He carried out a full inspection and found that the bar wasn't just a regular dirty bar. It was a bar dealing with a full-blown infestation. Cockroaches were living in the walls, inside furniture, and of course, crawling through liquor bottles basically everywhere. John also found out that Steve wasn't even paying his staff properly and that the bartenders were working for tips only with no real wages, while being expected to manage a collapsing, filthy bar.
You know what? If you paid me, then it would be my job. But you don't.
So clearly, Steve was the central problem in this bar. He was a manipulator who kept giving excuses and wasn't willing to change. But the staff were committed to helping the bar, and because of them, John decided to go ahead with the rescue. He stepped in for the employees, forced proper payroll systems into place, and retrained the staff from the ground up. John also rebuilt the concept of the bar and rebranded it into Metal and Lace, a steampunk-themed venue designed to replace the chaotic identity with something structured and appealing. And for a moment, it actually worked. The relaunch brought in customers. The bar looked better, and the staff had really stepped up their game. But Steve was nowhere to be found. Even during the relaunch, when the bar needed leadership the most, he left his team to carry the entire operation, completely avoiding responsibility.
Oh my God, that is phenomenal.
People and drank. He wasn't really helping us at all, which wasn't really a big surprise.
And so what happened within weeks after the rescue was not surprising.
You should leave.
Why don't you leave?
Because you're the problem.
And believes in this bar.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, make
Thank
me
you.
proud these next
I will.
few weeks.
I promise.
Okay?
Because of Steve's terrible behavior, especially on Bar Rescue, the bar was flooded with negative reviews from angry viewers who had watched the episode and from actual customers who had experienced the cleanliness problems firsthand. Steve struggled to maintain the standards set by John, and by the end of April 2014, he sold the bar to a new owner. He eventually lost the lease entirely, and though he had intentions of reopening Headhunters somewhere else, those plans never came together. The location sits empty today. If you think Steve was a terrible owner who deserved to have his bar close up, wait till you hear about the owners of O-Face Bar, a bar that opened in 2011 in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and featured in Season 3. When John Taffer stepped into the bar, the problems were obvious from the start. The bar was losing $4,000 a month, and the owners were in debt of over $250,000. But it wasn't just struggling financially. The place had a long list of problems, starting with the outside appearance. The drinks had the most unconventional names and didn't live up to the expectation either.
We got an orgasm for a shot.
They were definitely not good.
Hygiene standards were also questionable, and the staff behavior crossed the line from unprofessional to outright hostile. Customers sometimes even had to make their own drink because no bartender was present, as they all went inside as if they didn't have a bar to attend to. But the real issue actually started and ended with the owners, Karen and Matt Overmeyer, who had already sunk their retirement savings into the bar. Yet instead of running it like a business, they treated it like a personal hangout. Friends drank for free, staff drank on shift, and discipline simply didn't exist. Karen's and Matt's irresponsible behavior and complete neglect of their bar allowed a culture of aggression to develop within the bar.
Take that shot, Amanda. Are you serious? Are you serious?
A physical fight between a bartender and a manager even broke out during filming. It got physical enough that John had to step in and intervene to separate them.
Stop being that way. Are you serious? Stop doing that.
Regular argue.
What, they're going...
Oh, we got to fight. Really beating the hell out of each other.
Hold on. This is your bar. Wait a second. You're the manager of this bar. How dare you disrespect that girl?
As expected, the owners were nowhere in sight, and when John called for them, Matt turned on John instead.
But I will never yell at my wife. I'm trying to save her ass. You're not talking to her. You're yelling. Why don't you stick up for her a little bit? I am sticking up for her.
You stick up for your business.
I'm fighting for her right now.
You stick up for your business.
Taffer tried to impose order. He gave clear ultimatums, demanded accountability, and even attempted to reset the staff structure. But with every step forward, there was resistance. It mostly came from Karen. She refused to take responsibility, and this became the biggest obstacle. And as for Matt, he was just as bad.
I wasn't outside. I didn't see what happened.
Obviously, it's not up to me. It's up to you.
When John carried out a deeper investigation on the bar, he uncovered troubling background issues tied to the bar.
August 16th, 4th degree criminal misconduct. August 20th, public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and interference with police official acts.
It even found a clip where Matt was being violent toward an employee.
You did. Dude. You ever touch her like that? You don't knock me out. I have top notice, Inspector.
Either you put him through a window, or I'm gonna put him through a window.
This was the breaking point for John, as he did something almost unheard of on the show.
Here's the deal. I'm leaving. I am not rescuing your bar.
After the episode, things didn't improve. When John visited the bar in a Back to the Bar episode, he discovered that sales hadn't recovered, and clientele had shifted in a direction that made the bar's troubled reputation feel permanent.
If things don't change soon, O-Face Bar in Council Bluffs, Iowa will become just another statistic. In 2011, Matt Overmeyer and his wife Karen used their retirement to live out their dream of owning a bar.
The bar's problems started to pile up when it temporarily lost its liquor license after local authorities cited safety concerns, many of which were highlighted during the show. Although the license was later reinstated, the reputation damage stuck. The public perception was overwhelmingly negative, and the bar became known more for controversy than nightlife. Legal troubles surrounding Matt further worsened the situation, one of which was sex charges that Matt pleaded guilty to in 2016. Incidents like a shooting at the bar in 2021 only further proved that nothing fundamental had changed. Despite this, the bar managed to stay open, but the service remained terrible, with 1.5 stars on Yelp. In a review section that documents in specific detail why nobody should go back.
This place sucked. Service was awful. The drinks were awful.
Needs to be shut down and remodeled. The next bar didn't have criminal cases hanging around it, but its downfall was even more deserved. Underground Wonder Bar in the River North District of Chicago was first opened in 1989 and was one of the clearest examples of how an owner's behavior can directly sink a business, no matter how strong its past success was. Lonnie Walker had already proven she could run a thriving live music venue, keeping her original location successful for over 2 decades. But when she relocated to Chicago's River North District everything changed. The rent skyrocketed, the expectations of the clientele shifted, and instead of adapting, she doubled down on the exact approach that no longer fit the environment. The bar started crumbling as a result, losing more money than it was making, with Lonnie incurring up to $515,000 in mounting debt. Lonnie was the biggest issue as she treated the bar more like a personal stage and less like a business. She enjoyed performing each night, but it came at the expense of operations. Staff lacked direction, service suffered, and the younger clientele in the new location were now basically forced to endure Lonnie's performances. Offering a vegan menu in a mainstream nightlife district was another sign that Lonnie was operating in her own world, not one her customers lived in.
My mom's got a big vegan influence on the menu.
Oh, yummo.
Where's the chicken wings? Where's the deep fried mozzarella?
When John Taffer stepped in, he knew immediately what the problem was, and so did everyone else, including Lonnie's own son, Jordan, who was helping out at the bar.
There was no way in hell I was gonna let John just walk out the door. My mom is set in her ways, but what I need her to understand is that we need help.
But Lonnie was unwilling to change and quick to throw shade at the man who had come to save her business.
How's your dream doing?
Obviously we're in trouble or you wouldn't be here.
You want to doodle, or do you want to talk to me?
Did you dye your hair?
So you're going to attack me personally because I'm attacking your business? Is that,
You're
is that where you're at?
you're attacking me.
This is my reputation. I've made millions of dollars in this business. I'm here to make you money and help your future.
Jordan eventually got his mom to apologize for her rude behavior and even agreed to a name change.
We'll see about the name. I'm in full reserve about that.
No, I'm not going to build it if you put the name back. So we're going to have to solve that.
With Lonnie's reluctant cooperation, John removed the chaotic identity, rebranded the bar as Clear Bar, simplified the concept, upgraded the menu and drinks, and most importantly, he pushed Lonnie to step back from performing and focus on running the business.
This is a white-collar, young professional neighborhood. A business must target its market.
Yes.
None of those 31-year-old people want to come here and hear her.
He also positioned her son Jordan as general manager, recognizing that the bar needed grounded leadership. But after the rebranding, Lonnie didn't seem quite impressed.
Clear that it's not Underground Wonder Bar. I was hoping that I would like the name. I don't. I thought it would signify music, and Clear does not signify music to me.
But for a brief moment, she let the changes fly, and it worked. Within 6 weeks of the relaunch, sales increased by 30%. Despite signing an agreement, Lonnie quickly reverted to old habits, starting with a name. She removed the Clear Bar branding and restored the Underground Wonder Bar name. She then returned to making the bar more about her performances, which were so loud that it would cause both a migraine and a terrible review. Customers also complained that the food and drinks weren't great, yet pricey regardless. Underground Wonder Bar did manage to stay open for a couple more years, but the downfall was already certain. Without consistent leadership or a stable concept, it couldn't sustain itself in a competitive area. By September 2017, the bar closed for good, but Lonnie kept performing and kept posting about it on the bar's own Facebook page. She had made her choice a long time ago. Clearly, between business and passion, she had made her choice. But Lonnie at least had a passion that she was chasing. Then there's the owner of Piratz Tavern, whose bar looked like a never-ending Halloween party. Piratz Tavern, featured in Season 2, was an oddly themed bar opened by Tracy Rebello in 2007.
This isn't just any bar, it's a bar.
Tracy built the bar around a pirate fantasy, inspired by a Halloween party that she didn't want to end. The idea might have worked at a tourist-heavy beach town, but not at a corporate-heavy area like Silver Spring, Maryland. Instead of adapting to her market, she doubled down on the theme, filling the bar with costume staff who stayed in character but lacked basic service skills.
Maybe we should, check in with someone? This is kind of whacked. Sir, can we get some menus?
Hi.
Oh.
Just gonna suit yourselves whatever the you like, are you?
The kitchen was handled by Luciano, Tracy's husband, who clearly had no idea what he was doing in there. Between the costumed roleplay and the inedible food, the business had accumulated nearly $900,000 in debt, and Tracy had already lost her home. When John Taffer stepped in, the bar wasn't serving its environment, and worse, it wasn't functioning at a basic operational level. Recon confirmed it. Long wait times, poorly made drinks, and staff who prioritized roleplay over competence. Tracy knew she was in serious debt but refused to come out of her bubble.
I have an establishment that I believe...
You're not ashamed of what you're doing.
No.
Then I can't help you. Are you ashamed of the food that was served tonight?
Nope.
And her husband was right there beside her, defending both her decisions and whatever was coming out of his kitchen.
The food is good.
Your food is the worst I've ever seen. It stinks.
I don't think so.
Taffer's solution was logical, but Tracy didn't seem to agree at first.
I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I think there are changes that can be made. I don't think that the essence needs to be sacrificed for that.
You want to be a pirate, or do you want to send your daughter to college?
Eventually, she relented, and John stripped away the pirate concept entirely, rebuilding the bar as corporate bar and grill, designed specifically to capture the office workers who made up the neighborhood.
What the f is that? I'm scared of this.
Oh, this is gonna be so much easier to clean.
This is making me feel better.
The rebranding initially looked promising, but the core issue had never been touched: Tracy herself.
It's a big change, John. It's a really big change for all of us.
The staff is apprehensive, but I feel great about this place.
I don't know about this.
The problem is, will Tracy ever accept anything that isn't pirate?
How bad do we just want a vat of grog right now and just be serving that, huh?
No, we're really enjoying the new place. Thanks for having us.
That's really not what I want to hear. That sucks. Keep on it for a couple of days. Whether it becomes a pirate bar again, well, I can do anything I want.
Sure enough, within weeks of Taffer leaving, she shut the bar down, reversed every change, and reopened as Piratz Tavern. But Tracy and her staff took things up a notch. They didn't just revert, they went as far as burning some of the new decor to show their disrespect for John and his changes. The reviews came back negative, the food was still inedible, and from all indications, it was only a matter of time before the Piratz Tavern would close up for good. That time eventually came in April 2015, meaning that the bar managed to survive for about 3 years after the episode aired, before the owners completely snuffed out every life of the business with their bizarre pirates theme. In the Facebook post where the bar announced its closing, they still continued firing shots at John and his bar rescue team instead of taking responsibility for their own actions. The Piratz Tavern remains closed to this day, and the venue is now occupied by a new restaurant called the Republic Garden. If you think Piratz Tavern was full of drama, wait till you hear about Bullpen. The Bullpen at Aspen Glen and its owner have a much different story that's maybe even a little darker. Owned by former MLB pitcher Dan Serafini, the bar didn't start off failing. In fact, it had steady business after it opened in 2013. The real problem began when Dan stepped back and stopped actively managing the place. That single decision created a vacuum of authority, and the staff filled it with chaos. By the time John Taffer arrived, the bar had essentially turned into a party house. Employees drank on the job, ignored customers, and operated with zero accountability. Bartenders weren't ringing up drinks, which meant revenue was literally disappearing in real time. Even worse, Dan allowed personal boundaries to blur as he let the staff get too comfortable, so now they had zero respect for him, making it nearly impossible to enforce any discipline.
Day that I'm here, you are never here, so why are you telling us?
Why do we have to...
Why
Pay your bills, damn it!
Because you're the
Why?
Because you're the
Your paycheck. I should be able to depend on you.
You drink all the time on the job.
So what?
The operational issues were just as damaging. The bar layout slowed service as the bartenders had to walk all the way to the back of the bar just to get someone a beer. The smoke ventilation system was broken, meaning the bar filled with smoke whenever the kitchen ran, which was another reason customers weren't staying. Basic standards like cleanliness were also non-existent. Dan avoided confrontation and let problems compound until they became the culture.
These girls need to work harder. You don't need to
I'm
be
trying,
rushing
but I
around.
got babysitting too. They're running out of glasses. I've already done 3
Okay,
sets.
then talk to them.
To deal with the bartenders, John introduced performance metrics like drinks production average to make sure that the bartenders are on pace and doing their jobs. And when one bartender failed to improve, Dan had finally learned how to act like an owner.
Sir.
hit the road when you're fired. Find something else to do.
John then gave the bar a full rebrand, becoming Oak Tavern, with a redesigned interior and improved layout meant to speed up service and create a more professional atmosphere. Under its new identity as Oak Tavern, sales went up by 50%, and Dan even posted publicly on Facebook to thank John. But Dan's terrible leadership skills never really improved, as his bartenders returned to drinking on duty. He himself wasn't always in his best behavior, as one customer called him a jerk. As the problems returned, Dan's gratitude evaporated, and he posted publicly that he couldn't wait to rip Bar Rescue the way they had ripped on him. The one-star reviews mounted, the customers stopped coming, and by the early 2020s, Oak Tavern had effectively shut down. The location is now home to a business called On the Rocks. But the bar wasn't the only thing that collapsed. Dan started to have problems with his marriage, and then came the most shocking twist. In 2023, Dan and a woman named Samantha Scott were arrested for their connection to the shooting death of Dan's father-in-law in 2021, along with the attempted murder of his mother-in-law, who passed away a year later. Despite maintaining his innocence, Dan was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment in February 2026. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like these ones as well. And don't forget to subscribe.